told you the story the other day of how I found Donata out in western Oklahoma, and that he was chasing trucks down the highway on his inside of the horse pasture. And I made a deal with the owner to buy him and took him home. Now, he was a son of Count Fleet. Count Fleet is one of the more prolific thoroughbred stallions in the world. Back in those days, this was in the late 60s, about 1966. And so I took Donata home, and I named him Donata because everything was so easy for him to do. He didn't work at all. It was easy to do. And Donata means it is nothing. And that's kind of the attitude he had. It was interesting. He was tough. Some of the thoroughbreds that run well have to be tough individuals, mentally speaking. And Count Fleet colts tended to be that way. They came back, the man who sold him to me came back and tried to buy him back in about 8 months because his older brother, just the exact mama and daddy, but his older brother, had just run out $3 million on the racetrack, and they wanted Donata back. But I really liked him, kept him. He was one of the cold black horses. I mean, he was black all over, and really black. It wasn't a seal brown. So anyway, as I was taking Donata and training him, everything was easy for him. And we hadn't had him too awfully long, and we took a partnership in Florida with a stable, and I took Donata down there with me. And I was at a horse show. It was Donata's first horse show. And it was a little schooling show. You didn't have to enter way ahead of time. You could enter at the show. We got to the show, and I'd go look at the courses they were jumping. And if I liked the way it looked for him to school, I would enter him in it. And they had several different divisions, and he could qualify to go in any of the divisions. You can take a horse up in divisions, you can't take him back down. But I was showing him in Green Hunter, and I was showing him in preliminary jumper, and I was even showing him in a little bit in open jumper. And I had looked at these courses over the day, and we had a bunch of kids, students with horses there as well. And toward the end of the day, the announcer over the grandstand called a number and said, would this number report at the arena for a hack-off for Champion Hunter? And I turned to the kids. I knew it was one of our numbers, and I said, whose number is that? And they said, that's Donata's number. So I ran and got my colt, first horse show. And we go to the arena for this hack-off. Now, a hack-off is what you're going to do is go in the arena, and you're going to walk, and you're going to trot, you're going to canter both directions, and they may call for a hand gallop, which for hunter classes that's the pace that you show a horse over the fences. Well, my opponent in the class was a young lady that had a horse that was an ex-race horse. And I had seen him the week before at a horse show, and he had blown up. When another horse went by him fast, he wanted being an ex-race horse, he wanted to be in front too. I really wanted that championship for my baby. So we're going around, and typically they have you trot a little bit, and then they'll walk, and then they'll canter. And somewhere in that canter, they're going to ask you to hand gallop. Well, I cut across the arena so that we're cantering, and I'm about 2.5, 3 strides behind this other horse. And this other horse, by the way, had been the Florida state champion hunter the past year. And so he was a pretty good hack horse. Anyway, I was watching the ring steward really closely, And when I saw the judge tell the ringster to hand gallop him, I got all ready. And when the announcer just a fraction of time before the announcer said it, I knew he was getting ready to say it. I hit my colt with both spurs and just shot him forward. And we went by that other horse at a good hard hunter pace, so that we're in front of him. Well, sure enough, the girl was not really ready. She was still gathering things together to do the hand gallop. And when I blew by her, and here he came, and he ran away with her. And so I won the hunter championship by using a trick. And, whether that's right or wrong, like I said, I really wanted to think. I'll tell you one of these days of how I used to train students to protect themselves in the show ring, and a couple of stories that go with that. Know that it's been a wonderful time. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.